Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the FIFA 22 Leeds career mode. Yeah, trying to get through a few episodes. I have a headache, so I'm not going to do any live comm though. I'm going to do a bit of highlights and stuff. So I do apologize about that. Just don't need all the lights on, don't need to be talking and crap. So hope you guys still appreciate the fact I'm trying to get these out. All three of ya. This is for you. But yeah, hope you enjoy, like and subscribe and whatever. And ultimately, yeah, hopefully I'll see you probably towards the end of the season to have a quick recap. We're currently in 6th, so it's going well so far. And I'll probably play like 8, 9 Premier League games. Start off with Norwich. Should get a win.
Please welcome our visitors, Leeds United, and your referee has indicated there will be a minimum of 1 minute of added time. Rodrigo. Substitution for Tottenham Hotspur. Coming off the pitch, number 20, Harry. Coming into the pitch, number 28, Tandem Nobel. Please welcome our visitors, Leeds United, and your Eagles. Our visitors. There will be a minimum of 2 minutes of added time. It's Leeds United and raise the roof.
So here we are after probably close to 7 or 8 games. I didn't really keep count. That's 9 games. Wow. So I was talking about potentially getting Europe, and we're in 6th place. So not only are we in 6th, we've actually sealed 6th because Chelsea are 7 points behind us, and obviously from 2 games you can only get 6 points. So they're not catching us. We could catch Tottenham, but we have 2 teams that aren't really anywhere near us. So it's not like whether we beat them or not, we're gonna overtake them or anything crazy like that. We obviously don't have Spurs left or Leicester left or any team that we could potentially overtake. I doubt that Spurs are going to slip up, but either way, we're in 6th. So 6th or 5th, I don't really care. We still get top 6 at the end of the day, which is obviously incredible. This is our first season in the career mode. 6th place would be incredible. I'm really happy with that. So I'm actually going to simulate these last 2 games of the season because dead set, I don't see a point in playing them. You know, we're not going to move up. We're not going to go down. So unless we win this game and Spurs lose theirs, then I'll simulate both these last 2 games. So I'm definitely simulating this one. In terms of the lineup, I might put Rodrigo in just because he wanted to play. Don't think it'll make too much of a difference. If we quick sim, we should be getting this win, and we are. Bamford and Click scored. Bamford scored. Bro, I started Rodrigo, so he's not going to be happy. Anyway, Bamford scored and Click scored. That's all that matters. Also, we are going to be talking a little bit about, you know, what I'm looking to do in the transfer window at the end of this episode. We're going to sort of discuss that a little bit, but that's about it. You know, I'm not going to be making any signings in this episode, but next episode when we kick off the second season, I probably will. Spurs got a draw. You know what? Either way, I'm pretty confident that we'll get a win in this last game against Brentford. They're bottom of the league, so let's try this again. You know, to start Rodrigo, see if it actually works this time. And I'll put Ayling in as well, just because I can. So Brentford, bottom of the league, they're going down. We're pretty much going to be in 6th. If we get up to 5th, that's great. But of course, I'm going to sim this. And the score is 2-0 again. And Rodrigo did start this time. It was Jack Harrison with the brace. He's not been very clinical this year. He's been quite unreliable in front of goal, I'll be honest. Not my favourite player to use, especially as a left winger. That's essentially the end of the season. We've got one of our young players being sold, which is good. Apparently we get 165 million prize money, but we all obviously know that we don't actually get anywhere near that much. Or we could end up with 200 million in the bank next year. I don't know. FIFA's pretty well broken. Oh my God. We finished 5th. There is no way. Tottenham, on the last day, bottled it against Leicester City. Wow. That's crazy. That really is crazy. So we finished 5th. That's awesome. 20 games won, 11 games drawn, and just 7 lost, which is joint second best in the league in terms of losing the least amount of games. Bro, that's so good. Defensively, we were really good. We were the best in the league, conceding just 40 goals, while we scored 64, which, you know, isn't... I think that's the least in the top 6. So, still, we outscored Chelsea, Arsenal, Everton, West Ham this season, and obviously every team below. I'm just saying that it's impressive how well we did. We had the best defense in the league, and I can't defend for shit. So, I think a lot of credit has to go to Koch and Llorente and Calvin Phillips. Can I just say, Calvin Phillips was a gun this year. An absolute weapon. Oh my days. He is so good in the midfield. Obviously chipped in with a few goals in those highlights that you guys would have just seen. He truly is captain fantastic. We have a financial report coming in here. Increase the club's worth by within 2 seasons. Yeah, I was going to say we're definitely going to increase the club worth. We finished 5th this season. Obviously, next season I want top 4. And, wow, Rafinha actually scored a lot of goals in the end. Bruno Fernandes ended up winning Golden Boot with 26 goals. 24 for Raul Jimenez. That's a good signing. That seems like a good signing for City. Mane, Callum Wilson's up there. But Rafinha is there with 17. Fair play. No other Leeds players. So Rafinha... who had a bit of a rough start to the season. It was a slow start. He ended up killing it. He played every game. Jesus, how many Leeds players have we got on here? So Dallas had 9 assists. We had Calvin Phillips with 8 assists. Matthias Klick with 7. And then Bamford and Harrison both got 7. We had Rafinha with 6. Rafinha has been insane this season. Unreal. As for all-round stats this season, who led our team in scoring? It was Rafinha. Yes, he was the only player to crack double digits. 17 goals and 6 assists in all competitions and in the Premier League. So fair play to Rafinha. He was almost our best player of the season. I'm sorry, but our best player was Ilon Melier. Like, no one comes close. Like, Rafinha was insane. He jumped up by 4 overall. He's insane. I just can't stress that enough. He is goated. But Ilon Melier, bro, there's a reason why we had the best defense in the league. And like I said before, I don't know why I didn't even mention it until now. Llorente, Koch, Phillips deserve credit, but Melier deserves the most by far. He was immense in goals. Second top scorer with just 8 was Patrick Bamford. 8 goals, 7 assists, playing a BTEC Harry Kane role. Stuart Dallas, I want to strengthen the midfield next season, but I want to keep Dallas in the team. Not necessarily starting, but 7 goals, 9 assists, bro. I can't just dispute that. Jack Harrison, 7 goals, 7 assists. It's a good stat line. I didn't really find him too good to use, to be honest. He wasn't great. But obviously, we're not going to replace him next season. He's a bit too valuable and very high rated. He's not going to be our long-term left-hand side solution, I don't think. Matthias Klick was good statistically, but to be honest, I didn't really enjoy losing him. He was very sluggish, not good with the ball at his feet, so I might replace him. Rodrigo may actually work for what I want to do with the team next season. I kind of want to explore potentially bringing in a number 10. Excuse me. I kind of want to bring in a number 10, potentially, to play a cam role. So then Phillips would obviously play midfield, yada yada. So Rodrigo could be a really good backup central attacking midfielder, but it depends what we decide to do, to be honest. Obviously, Calvin Phillips was insane, El Capitano. Joe Gellart was really, really good. He exploded when he came into the first team, but then he died off big time. And Bamford started getting a few goals, getting a few assists, so obviously we ended up starting him. Dan James was really good off the bench, very, very fun to use. Firpo and Henriks, unreal. Henriks obviously only came halfway through the season, and he was so much fun to use. So much fun to use. So versatile. Really good with the ball at his feet. And Firpo was similar on the other side. Really good defensively. I loved using both of them. It was really, really good. So that's the statistics report for the squad. Okay, so in terms of our financial situation, we've got 42 mil with the appropriate wage balance. We're going to go into next season in this episode, and we're going to see like where we lie financially, because obviously I want to like get a gauge of how much money we have to work with, because I want to strengthen the squad. And I think I want to talk to, like I already said, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what we're going to do, in terms of strengthening the squad, what I want to do to this team. We have contracts expiring, Adam Forshaw, that's totally fine. I don't really care if he leaves for free. We also have this guy in the youth academy, Dominic Gould. I'll keep working on him, don't worry about it too much. So I am a little bit torn of what to do. So in the midfield, that's where I want to add the most strength. I would like to get, I said potentially getting an attacking midfielder and then pairing Phillips in as a centre mid alongside another centre mid, Dallas off the bench, obviously, or keeping this holding midfield and bringing in another central midfielder or two, you know what I mean? So I want to strengthen the midfield most of all, and then I want to strengthen our striker position, because Bamford, whilst he picked it up a bit towards the end of the season, if I want to finish a Champions League slot, do you really think Patrick Bamford's going to get me there? No. Rafinha cannot always be relied on for goals, so pressure will be taken off his shoulders if we get a solid number 9, because obviously I was a bit unsure, like, should I play Gellart, should I play Bamford, should I play Roberts? I didn't know what to do, because all our strikers were fairly inconsistent and often unreliable for us, so I want to get another striker in. And I've got a bunch of players shortlisted from all sorts of positions, and we're going to take a look at that now. So bringing in a 10, I was looking at 2 players, and it might not be too realistic, but if Leeds finish top 5, looking to make that Champions League push, who knows? But obviously Odegaard, I'm not assuming we'll get any more than like 100 mil to work with next season. That's my assumption. And hopefully we get more, because, if you can't be disappointed if you expect disappointment, so W. But both of these guys would be minimum 70 to 100 million pounds. So Martin Odegaard and Danny Olmo, both young, both good with the ball. I want a technical attacking midfielder, and both of these players offer that. So they're the two that I'm looking at, but if it can't be done, then I will look at midfielders, and I've got a couple here. If we decide to just get 2 centre midfielders, I go with a player that's sort of like really good caliber right now and offers a good shift to the team, and then get a player who's a bit of a brute force in there, kind of playing like a Philip Billing role. And obviously it says they won't sell him right now, but still, I could try and get Ryan Gravenberch and James Ward-Prowse. And then at number 9, I've got a bunch of players that I'm looking at. Alexander Isak, Donyell Marlin, Luka Jovic, and Moise Keane. I've tried to make them like really, really solid players, but not necessarily unrealistic. So I'm not going to go sign Erling Braut Haaland. Not that we could probably even afford him. I'm not going to sign Gabriel Jesus. I'm not going to sign even someone like Dominic Calvert-Lewin, to be honest, because he's just generic. And Isak is a little generic. Marlin, kinda. Jovic would have been a few years ago, and obviously same with Keane, but not many players sign these sorts of guys anymore. So I kind of want to keep it fresh, and I want to keep it somewhat realistic. Somewhat. It's not Leeds in real life that are signing these players. It's Leeds after a 5th place finish in the Prem with Mr. Robert Obflob at the helm. So, yeah. But let's get into next season and see how much money we're working with. Let's check the bank. What we saying? Oh, yeah. Bro, we got 150 mil to play with. So, you guys got to let me know what you want me to do down below. I don't want you to just put some generic signing in the comment section and just say, go sign Mbappe, go sign Xavi Simons. I like the players on this shortlist. As a striker, obviously I'm not deciding on anyone at the moment, but I'm leaning towards Isaac, or Isaac, however you're supposed to say it, but he'd be very expensive. Assuming he costs his max price, which would be like 80 mil, and then we get someone like Olmo, who would also cost 80 mil, that's like our entire budget gone. James Ward-Prowse would be quite expensive, but he's got less value than Gravenberch, and he's more high rated, and James Ward-Prowse would be a good player to come into the starting lineup, because we're not going to have a super team, but he would just be a good piece to add to the puzzle. So I kind of want to get James Ward-Prowse, and then potentially either a number 10. I'm leaning towards a number 10, guys. And then worst case scenario, we get someone up front like a little cheaper than these guys, or maybe just get a striker next season. I'm not too sure what we're supposed to do. But you guys should let me know down in the comment section below, because next episode we'll be making the signings we need to make. But for now, thank you very much for watching this video. Please leave a like and subscribe. Go check out the Sports O'Clock podcast because it's kind of fun. And apart from that, I'll hopefully see you in the next video, whenever the hell that is.